morning, ladies and gentlemen. How are we all doing today? I'm your host, Yamez, from Island Metal Forge, and with me, as always, is Sulbert with Transcendental Artist Studios and Speargrass Forge in every other week, as per the schedule. He has gone walkabout for a second, and I don't know, I think he's checking the shrimps on his Barbie. Hey,
every time.
He goes,
every
hey.
time.
He goes, hey.
One day you're going to get an anonymous letter from an Australian there, Yamez, and then he's going to be very happy with you.
Is it going to be a bunch of barbecue shrimp? I'm just playing. No disrespect meant to the great Australian people, you know, with the rich history. I love you guys. I do. I love Australians. The accent does it for me. I used to have a boomerang. Does that count? Hold on. Little bit of discognizance there with the audio.
I had a boomerang. What happened to it, the Yamez? If you threw it and it didn't come back,
it didn't come back. It didn't come back like everything in my life that leaves me.
That's just the stick. Mm-hmm. A boomerang doesn't call back. It's just a stick.
Okay, then it was a stick. Anyway, hey Mick Chu, what's up, Trail Dust? Robert Lonis, Dog Bones, Bill Corey, Steve Parsons, Paul Orchard. Bill Corey writes, well, since this departed March 20th, 2022 at 3:03, Rocky Mountain NC Distribution Center, I'd say night delivery was... Oh, damn. Oh, the piece. Yeah, I haven't seen it yet. And Bill, you have my home address, so it should, you know, when it shows up, it'll show up. They'll open the door and set it on the chair inside. If I will be, to be fair, I did not check yesterday to see if it was sitting there, so it may be there. I don't know. Give me a sec to check, or I'll check after the show. Yeah. What's up, Ben Toombs? Bortagov, Alex P. Sullivan. Let me see. That's it. Hey, everybody. How's everybody doing? Yeah. So, how's everybody's week been? How's everybody's days been going? Mr. Coffee.
Can you hear me at all?
I can. It's just you're a little bit robotic. Almost like there's some bandwidth issues.
Okay, that's it then. Okay.
Yeah, it's almost like there's something else downloading in the background.
Yeah, that's... Okay. Please hold. Continue on without me while I sort this.
Of course. What's up, Donut? How was your week there, Adam?
My week was fairly non-committal. We've had it's been raining on and off, and I haven't been able to get out to do anything in my workshop, even though I've got a show coming up in a couple of weeks. But it's now starting to dry out. I've just in the Island Metal Forge group, I just got a knife that I made with Sam Towns back with a leather sheath made up. So that's actually a present for my father. I forged that with Sam last time I was down there, and then basically that's been it. It's been a very non-eventful week, apart from waiting for the place to dry out so I could mow the lawns and do some bits and pieces around the yard. My driveway is now dry enough to drive down, which is wonderful.
Wonderful.
And yeah, finally. And then that's been pretty much it.
What was that, Sully?
I said, Adam finally got to put the boat away for the year, huh?
That's pretty much it.
For getting to the end of the driveway?
I miss taking a kayak to go get the mail.
I don't. I really don't. 400, half a kilometer, or what is that? That's half a kilometer is about a quarter mile. I believe something like that.
Yeah, that's pretty
Yeah,
close.
it's 2.2 kilometers to the mile. So yeah, so 500 meters is about quarter mile. Walk one way to get to the end of the driveway. Half a mile walk there and back every day just to go somewhere to walk down the end of the driveway. It's not fun.
Okay, somebody said that I'm patchy, so I turned off my noise suppression. Maybe that'll help. Or you may just get fan noise in the background. But yeah. Morning, Hubcat. Mr. Pekka.
Okay. I think I've got everything set up.
Yep, and Mr. Donut's power hammer is arriving tomorrow. I actually have seen pictures of it and seen a little video of it running. I helped solve some issues and answer questions about that, which I guess kind of leads into my week. Not a ton of forge time. Quick edit. But yeah, got a few texts and answered a few questions, and got some people, got someone sorted out on a power hammer build, and apparently it went great because I got a video of it running, and a paint job is pretty sweet too. I unfortunately don't have the video with me, and I don't think I should share it because it may be a surprise. Hey Troy,
just thinking about the Dunkinator the other day.
Yeah.
Wondering, I ain't heard from that guy in ages.
Well, yeah.
James, glad you're doing good and getting a freaking power hammer. That's amazing, buddy.
Right. Ben's on his second, I think. Yeah.
Wearing them out, is he?
Yeah, he's addicted to building them now. But yeah, and then I was in my shop all day yesterday, and it was one of those days. We've talked about them before, where you get out there and you got like, a ton of stuff to do, and you're motivated, and you're out there working, and then just everything just kind of goes south, and it's like I was out there. The platen plate, the flat plate for my belt sander, my belt grinder, is I think made of aluminum, and it's got a bend in it, a slight bend in it. From me, working on hammers constantly and pushing in the same spot. And so I'm like, I'm going to replace this so I can have a nice clean edge. And it's like, let me go with a thicker steel and, or actual steel and thick and nice and all that fun stuff. And, went through the process. It's like I found it, cut it, marked the holes, spent about 2 hours, cleaning it up, polishing it up, shaping it, drilling the holes and everything, and went to mount it, and it's like, measure twice, multiply that by 5, and then cut or drill once, because the drill holes were off by, a significant amount. And so I plug welded the hole, one of the holes, and I re-drilled it and got the thing mounted, and then I couldn't find the Allen key to adjust the platen to sink it back in, because it was thicker steel, and I was like, oh man, I'm digging around, searching around, and walking around, and I scraped a nice little slice in my arm, and had to freaking stop and pinch it together, put some super glue on it, and all that fun stuff. And it was like, and in the process of all of that, watched a snake just, slither right into my shop. So, yay! Yay! Things kind of got silent. Did I screw something up?
You were just yakking away. We were just letting you talk.
Well, I got a couple of messages, and it's like I'm wondering what did the streams drop out? And
Yep, it's still running on my end. Keeping an eye on everything. So yeah, just paying attention to everyone getting power hammers and power tools. I'm very jealous. I'll get one eventually, a power hammer. This is the year of getting stuff done for me. And Spencer's workshop built. Finally fulfill the promise I made on my, I think it was my 700 subscriber or 500 subscriber video of, sending photos of the build progress of my new workshop to the competition winner and all that. So, yes, that is the plan. Touchwood, hopefully fuel prices go down because that's currently eating into my savings at the moment, but you know how it goes.
Right.
Oh, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Man, that's the third time I've had to restart the stage, or like leave and get back in. I was saying, and I was not talking because I didn't have a little green line, but I was like, Yamas, you could just consider that your shop snake and just like,
right,
get some pink rats or, wow, that is crazy.
Okay.
My laptop has been plugged in for like 2 weeks, and I just carried it. I unplugged it. I carried it outside. Of course, I just unplugged it. I've got my research pulled up on one tab. I've got YouTube pulled up on another tab, and I brought it out here and I set it on my my stump that I use for dishing for bowls and whatnot. And the battery just died on it.
Oh man.
It's been unplugged for less than 5 minutes.
Oh man. Well, All right. Hey, Stress Master.
Yeah.
Jeff Killian.
We're gonna have a little bit of a delay. Well, I'm gonna run inside and get my freaking. I'm trying to not be loud because somebody else is asleep, and I'm not gonna bother them. So
right.
I'm gonna run inside, get my cord right quick. I'm gonna leave the phone out here.
While you do that, I'm gonna play a video that. While you do that, I'm gonna play a video that Duncan just sent me of his power hammer. Hello?
Hey, show and tell. That's pretty.
Yeah,
it's
it is.
Yellow.
Yeah, it is.
Where we go? Lemon donut.
Glazed.
Glazed lemon donut. Or we call it jam donut because it's got the the red top and the red springs.
Right. All right.
Oh, you guys call them a jelly donut, wouldn't you?
I don't know. I call them donuts.
Yeah, but with the strawberry stuffing inside, we call it jam. You guys call
they
it
don't,
jelly.
They don't last long enough for me to consider flavors. Apparently, Discord did some updates this week, and some issues with mics are now a thing. But it's input-output in Discord itself, which is why there might be a little bit of on some of the audio. With that battery issue. Oh.
Really?
Do you want Stress to help you with the battery issue, Sully?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay, what the hell? What the hell, man?
Apparently, it's
what do you mean?
apparently it's a Discord issue. But Stress Master says want me to help you with that battery issue.
I don't even know what that.
You're saying you unplugged it and it said it was dead?
Oh, no, there it is. Okay, no, I just, what the hell is going on here? No, I take that back. The screen went black, but apparently it was just
sleep mode or something.
Because I was in sleep mode. I was just sitting here and I was reading, and the screen just went black, and I was like, oh no. So I went and I got the cord and I plugged it in. And as soon as I plugged it in, it came back up, and I was like, oh wait a minute, I'm just an idiot. That's the problem.
Oh yeah, like X amount of time, unplugged, and it turns the screen off to save battery. Yeah. But
I was like, before, because I can leave this. There's no timer on it. You know, I mean, it'll literally sit there with the screen on for hours and hours and hours, and I don't really care. And yeah, so that was like the first time I've ever seen the screen go out. Oh no!
Because it was unplugged.
Apparently, that's the thing.
Yeah, you can change that under settings. But either way, hey Wayne. But yeah,
Okay.
so with that, we can get to the metal of the week if y'all would like, or if you're not ready for it.
Oh,
You need to get Rob Huff to do a heavy metal like intro into for
We've
metal
talked,
of the week.
we've talked about that.
oh, yeah. Do not haven't gone there. Logistically, it's very difficult for him to do. So yeah, we're gonna have we have to kind of pull it from his existing catalog.
Yeah.
Because I was like, even like, well, I mean, you know, he should have all of that.
You keep
No.
breaking up there, Sully.
Of course I do.
Yeah. That's weird. But
Oh.
yeah, weird stuff. Well, I think he's trying to go through his settings right now.
No, I'm not. I'm just trying to.
You're on Discord through the phone and then reading through the computer, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So.
And of course everything is running. Oh, I got freaking 1.3. Yeah, my hotspot or my service is variable. Can I take no?
Yeah, you're just a little breaking up.
Okay, give me a second.
Technical difficulties, everybody. Stress says check your gain sensitivity in Discord. I don't know if mobile has that or not. I actually don't know at all. Looks like stuff. Robert Lonis made a shelf. Gesundheit. That's cool, Robert. Christ-Centered Ironworks is sneaking in as a lurker, throwing up pictures of his copper bowl.
All right, I changed one setting. Anything?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, let me.
Still hear you.
All right, disconnecting my PC or my laptop completely, using up too much. What do you call it? Bandwidth, and or not because of the way Discord disconnects.
All right.
Off.
Yeah, in
Roll
the
over to
voice
it.
and video on mobile, there is a sensitivity setting.
Yeah. I'm already. I'm on auto sensitivity, and my sensitivity is all the way in the green.
There
So.
you go. I mean, you are coming. You're not breaking up as much as you were. So.
Right. Well, I just turned off my laptop, and that is kind of the bane of my existence. Is until Starlink is up and running.
Sucking up the bandwidth.
Yeah, but the laptop is using up all of my bandwidth because all I have is my cell phone service here.
Right, because you have
until we get our Starlink user terminal in the mail, that's all I have. So.
Yeah, okay, that's what it is. You were using your phone as a hotspot and also trying to talk on Discord.
Yes. Okay. So that's shut off, and it should be good now.
Mm-hmm. You're much better.
Okay.
So
here we go. Ready?
Yeah.
All right. So the metal of the week this week is bronze, and bronze is an alloy consisting primarily of copper, with about 12 to 12.5% tin, and commonly with the addition of another metal such as aluminum, manganese, nickel, or zinc. Sometimes non-metals such as arsenic, phosphorus, or silicone are also added, and those produce a range of alloys that are that make the alloy either harder than normal copper or have other useful properties like making it stronger, making it more ductile, or making it more machinable. The Bronze Age started about the 4th century BCE, or not century, millennium. So 4000 BC to
that.
early 3rd in China, and it gradually kind of spread across that whole side of the world, reaching most of Eurasia by 500 BC.
Yeah.
Oh, hold on.
Yeah, I remember when that started.
Yeah, I know, right? That's good times, man.
Oh, yeah. I showed Caligula how to do things.
When Gilgamesh was a boy and men were real men, and
So tin became the major non-copper ingredient in bronze in about 3000 BC, and I lost my freaking train of thought on that one. I actually was going somewhere with that, and I don't remember where it was. So I'll just pick up with the next little bullet point. There are a lot of different bronze alloys. Typically, modern bronze is 88% copper, 12% tin, and then there's alpha bronze, which consists of the alpha solid solution of tin and copper. Alpha bronze alloys of 4 to 5% tin are used to make coins, springs, turbines, blades, and historical bronzes are highly variable in composition, as they just kind of used whatever scrap they had on hand.
Right.
And then there's candlestick bronze, the mixture of copper, zinc, tin, lead, nickel, iron, antimony, art. I mean, you could basically just alloy copper with everything, and and call it bronze, unless you're gonna alloy it with zinc, in which case then it becomes brass,
which we'll get to later.
Yeah. That'll be later. Silica bronze is probably the most applicable to blacksmithing, because silica bronze has great ductility and lends itself well to being heated and shaped, whereas some other bronzes not so much. You try to hit them with a hammer and they crumble. Silicon adds that ductility, and so when you see like a bronze sculpture or whatever that's not cast, in a lot of instances that's a silica bronze.
Yeah.
Other bronze alloys, you can there's aluminum bronze, phosphorus bronze, manganese bronze, arsenic bronze, speculum metal, okay, and cymbal alloys. Like cymbals, like for a drum set.
Yeah.
Oh wait, no, it's that's it. Yeah. But typically bronzes are less brittle than cast iron. They're considered ductile. But if you've ever taken a piece of bronze and decided, let me heat this up and see what happens, they're not always that ductile as like you think they would be. I mean, you think of the ductility of steel, and you're like, oh, I can just get it hot, hit it with a hammer, and it just moves right around. Well, bronze isn't necessarily that easy. I mean, you can do it, and sometimes if you get the right alloy, it'll work fine. But if you don't, you're just gonna waste your time.
Yeah. Stress asks, can chrome be added to bronze, and if so, what would the result be? Woohoo.
It's not anywhere on the list of typical alloys, but I mean,
Be interesting.
I don't see why it couldn't. I mean, I don't see why it couldn't because it's so copper is so ready to alloy with just about every. I mean, like copper will even alloy with iron. You know, I mean, like you can, and you can alloy iron with chromium. So I don't see why you couldn't. I mean, I could always, just like do a Google search, but then that's gonna, that's gonna really.
I'll do a Google search. I'll do it.
Yeah. Somebody else do a Google search so it doesn't kick me off my microphone.
What's up, Drew? 1979 in the Blacksmiths Church chat there.
Fun little fact. Bronze is the only type of common metalsmithing that doesn't have a coloured name associated. So, for example, you got blacksmithing, and then for copper you got red smithing, for tin you got white smithing. Bronze, if you're smithing bronze, it's just literally called bronze smithing. There's no other associated colour or naming nomenclature for it.
I did not know that. Yeah, bronze.
I thought that was a little bit interesting because we have got we've got names for everything else.
Yeah. To answer Stress's question, bad gateway. No. In reading the little blurb for alloy wikis, chrome bronze is a thing. It improves the high temperature oxidation resistance of the alloy. But yeah, it's all I can get. Oh, there it goes. It went through. Chrome bronze is a copper alloy containing 0.4% to 1.1% chromium. Chrome bronze can be strengthened by quenching aging or quenching cold deformation aging treatment at the eutectic temperature of 1072 Celsius. The maximum solubility of chromium in copper is 0.65%. With the decrease of temperature, the solid solubility drops sharply, and the aging treatment after solid solution precipitates chromium particle phase. The addition of chromium on one hand significantly increases the recrystallization temperature and thermal strength of the alloy. On the other hand, the conductivity of copper is slightly reduced. The conductivity of solution-treated chromium bronze rod is 45% IACS, which rises to 80% IACS after aging treatment. The softening temperatures of aged chromium bronze is 400 degrees Celsius, which is twice that of what Roy commonly calls cold work copper. This alloy can be used in the as-cast state and the deformed state. When aluminum and manganese are added as alloying elements of chromium bronze, a thin and dense oxide film that is firmly bonded to the base metal can be formed on the surface of the copper-chromium alloy, which improves the high temperature oxidation resistance and heat resistance of the alloy. The content of manganese in the alloy is usually not more than 0.3%. The Chinese name is chrome bronze. It has good electrical and thermal conductivity and can be used for forming, welding, cutting, grinding performance. Motor commutator, slip ring, high temperature switch. Stuff. The chemical composition of chromium bronze. See table below. No, I'm not going to look at the table below. And then it goes into all sorts of stuff. So, short answer, yes. And as for what it can do, lots of stuff.
Back in the day, I'm going to say back in the day, like Middle Ages and whatever. What do you think of the two main? Throwing it out there. What do you think the two main things that were cast out of bronze would be?
Me? What do I think?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and say blades and sculptural.
Well, okay. So as far as I'm gonna go with three because they're the the three main things that it would have been used for, they did a lot of axes. Like back then, well, that's if you go back to the bronze. Axes were
That's what I thought you
were
meant.
cast out of bronze. Okay, now, but as far as the large items, it was especially important for casting cannon, because cannonballs were iron, and if you cast an iron cannon with an iron cannonball, the cannonball would stick in the barrel because back then tolerances weren't quite as accurate as they are now, and so yeah, it was important to use a brass cannon because of the low coefficient of friction. Yeah, but because of did I say brass?
Yeah.
Bronze, because of the low coefficient of friction between iron and bronze. And the other thing, which is some interesting information that I got when I was in Germany and doing those tour things, was every town had like a church bell, and when a town would come to be and then they'd get their church or whatever built, the all of the people would get together and bring their not get together, but over the course of time they would collect and donate their valuables to the church, as in their brass, their bronze, their copper, their gold, their whatever they had, and all of that would be melted down and cast into the church bell. And so the composition of the church bell was always varied greatly, because it's just whatever the town could come up with to melt down to cast. And so, I mean, they're very varying amounts of silver and copper and tin and lead and, I mean, just everything in them. And therefore, no two churches, they were primarily considered to be bronze. Main alloying and tin were the two main alloying components. But due to the extreme variance in all of the other metals that were thrown in there into the melting pot, so to speak, hence the origin of the term, the Great Melting Pot or whatever, was, the use of melting everything together to cast a church bell.
Huh.
So that was the main two uses on large scale, for large usage, not necessarily just like it was used in a lot of different things, sculpture and artistically and tool wise. But as far as large items, the most common, that was it.
Yeah, dang internet. Just it went from 3,000 kbps or kbs to 0. It just dropped for a second. But yeah, the bronze melting pot. The whole community making the church bell. That's wild. Donut says he remembers the Little House on the Prairie episode where they cast the church bell. I can safely say I have never seen a single episode of that show, and nobody goes, "Oh my God!"
Yeah, I don't think I've seen that since I was like 8.
Yeah. But yeah, no, bronze. It's once it went into the words, it's the progression of the metals. It's like, okay, Copper Age, very short lived, and then they realized, hey, we're melting this copper into these items. Hey, what else can we add to it? It's this thing bends like a politician. So what can we add to this to make this sturdier, better, stronger? And that's how science of blacksmithing is amazing, and the metallurgy, metallurgical sciences were really kind of started. And then you get people like Roy who just they're still stuck in the Copper Age. Get with the times, man. It's 3000 BC already. At one time was going to add bronze bowls.
AD.
Yeah. Yeah. At one time I was going to add bronze bowls and baptismal basins, but the cost and fickiness of it would have been prohibiting. Yep, you'd have to cast them. See Roy over there with a freaking gigantic freaking crucible,
Dude, I tell you what, that does sound like fun though. I mean, like just to cast some bronze.
Right.
I've often wondered, because like not recently, but say I mean, it's not worth the effort now, but 20 years ago when I first started in the oil field, I would always go to the scrap metal bin and pull out all of the brass airline fittings and whatever. And whenever I'd get 2 5-gallon buckets full, I would take them down to the scrap metal place and sell the scrap brass. And I mean, 2 5-gallon buckets of brass is actually a pretty sizable amount of money, even 20 years ago. And I always wondered what it would be like to kind of like melt that down and cast something with it, or to kind of reconstitute it. I mean, like I wondered then, I don't now. I mean, because I already know that wouldn't work. But like adding another metal to it to make that brass into to turn the brass into to be considered bronze by adding an alloying agent and making it soft and pliable where you could move it around instead of it just crumbling. But in all actuality, the zinc is already there, and it's already gonna crumble. So you can't really remove the zinc. But if you started from scratch with a bunch of scrap copper and then threw in some tin, I mean, you could make your own. You could make your own bronze, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, I have a small little piece of brass.
One of these days, I'll get a what? Gosh darn it! What's that thing called?
Crucible?
No, not the crucible. The thing the crucible goes in.
Forge?
No, not the forge.
Shelf?
Furnace. Is it?
Furnace. Okay.
Yeah, for melting metal in a crucible.
Okay. Yeah.
I have the pieces of casing to do it with. I just have never bought the burners and the K-wool and all that stuff to get it set up.
Yeah, I'd like to build myself one because I would like to cast at some point. Only hold up is I've heard that it's addicting as heck, and I don't want yet another thing. The only thing I really need it for would be for taking wire, scrap wire that I get, and melting it down into ingots, to make it easier for scrapping, or using.
Right.
I've also got a lot of aluminum wire. But
yeah, and the only thing I've ever cast is copper, aluminum, and yeah, that's it. Copper and aluminum. And the copper did not work as well as I had hoped, just because I didn't preheat the mold. But the aluminum worked pretty decent. I was able to, I had this 3/8 copper square bar, and I just made a mold with it. And then when I was sitting there practicing forging aluminum, I think I said copper, I meant aluminum. Anyways, yeah, so I was able to just take the scrap pieces that I screwed up and recast the aluminum and make a new square bar out of it. And then just for the heck of it, I cast an aluminum railroad spike. I tried the same thing with copper, and yeah, that did not work at all.
Yeah. Well, I know.
Perhaps if I had tried bronze, maybe I could have casted something I could work with. I don't know.
Yeah. Said smelter.
No, smelting is the act of separating metals. So when you're smelting gold, you're removing gold from its impurities such as copper, silver, platinum, etc.
Sure.
So when you're smelting, that is separating, not melting. I do a fair bit of that as well, or I did. I haven't done that in ages. But.
Yeah.
The word.
What's that?
Foundry. Foundry furnace.
Foundry. There you go. That's the word I was looking for. Thank you, Adam.
I was trying to say it before, but for some reason my mic wasn't picking it up. But yeah, so foundry. Yeah. Just on that note, just listen to what you're saying before about things that were made of bronze. You got to remember part of the reason why its strength, particularly for blades and spears and shields and whatnot, in the golden age of bronze during the peak of the Bronze Age, was because it was work hardened. Bronze as forged, but as found melted and poured, a cast isn't very strong. So it still has, similar properties to copper and tin. But once it's work hardened as the alloy, it actually it hardens up comparably to iron. The way iron overtook it, as we've discussed previously, was because iron was easier to find and easier to work.
Yeah. John Coffey says, doing it this summer, Sully. Need bronze and red brass.
Yeah, and I commonly was under the assumption forever and ever that red brass specifically referred to bronze. Now, and I'm not sure if that is actually accurate or not, because because I used to separate out the red brass and the yellow brass, when I'd go, because they were different prices, right? And I was under the assumption that red brass was actually bronze. And I if I recall correctly, somebody had told me recently, like in the last couple of years, that no, that's actually inaccurate. Red brass is actually brass with just a slightly higher copper content than yellow brass. And I was like, huh. And I never really delved into that to look into it. So I don't know how accurate that is or not.
You just go, okay. Yeah. That's about 90% of my informational intake is I hear something and go, huh, neat. And then I store it away and move on with my day. And then randomly, and this is why my Google search is like a hotbed of what is I'll randomly have a question pop in my head from something I've either learned, heard, or whatever, and I'll search it. Doesn't matter what it is. It's in my Google search history.
According to United Iron and Metal on the scrapium.com, okay, red brass is actually a bronze because it is composed of copper, tin, as well as zinc. It's commonly referred to gunmetal because it was originally used to fashion firearms. Red brass is generally found in pipes, valves, and plumbing fixtures. Yellow brass, on the other hand, is an alloy of copper and zinc. Yellow brass, famous for its use in musical instruments like bells or horns, can also be found in door handles, locks, hinges, plumbing pipes, and some electrical components. So apparently red brass is a bronze because it contains copper, tin, and zinc.
Right. Well, there you go.
Oh, and a side note for John Coffey, those peppers that I took home from his house last September, I now have 20 little plants poking up out with some, and some starter pots out of that. So, yeah, I got so far about 20 little Carolina Reaper plants.
Stephen Parson asks, I have an extension cord that has copper in it. Can I melt that down and do something with it? Or if so, what can I do with it? I don't see why not. I know some people would probably say strip the insulation off first, and then boom, you have bare copper. But I mean,
I would not use an extension cord for that because it's stranded. Unless the extension cord is just so, unless the plastic is so deteriorated that it's dangerous, due to weathering, cracking, etc.
You said
if it's because it costs like $1.50 to go buy a new end. If the end gets messed up, it costs $1.50 to put a new end on an extension cord. It's kind of better to hold on to those. Solid core wire, however, you got some spare Romex laying around or something like that. It's kind of nothing just to tie that off the two ends and run a knife down it to strip it and then melt that down.
Yeah, I if I were to put new ends on all my extension cords that I have in my shop that don't have ends, I would probably have the bill for just the ends alone would probably range in the hundreds. I have so much.
When I was a plumber, it was kind of like it's an OSHA type thing that if the cord gets cut, you can't just wrap tape around it. You got to toss it. And so anytime one of our extension cords got screwed up, they would throw it out, and I'd be like, "Nah, I'm taking that." And then for forever, I had this pile of like extension cords that I got from work and had to be thrown away. They couldn't be used, and so I just like, let's throw a new end on this one. Cut this one, finish cutting this one right here where something got dropped on it, and let me splice it back together. Throw some shrink wrap around it. We're good to go. So I had when I moved out of my ex-wife's house. The second one, I had a stack of probably 20 extension cords.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and I'm just like, holy mo! I didn't even know because they were all just in storage, And I was like, I didn't even know I had all those. But it's one of them things where they're in a box in the corner, and you don't know you have them, and it's like, I need an extension cord. Run down to Harbor Freight, buy an extension cord,
Yeah, I've got.
When dealing with electricals, you should always get them checked by a qualified tradesperson, just in case you end up causing a fire or electrocuting yourself. We by no means recommend doing your own electrical work. Don't do as we do.
Yeah.
And I was also gonna point out that the reason you wouldn't want to melt down like an extension cord, if you notice how flexible an extension cord is, that's because it's very small stranded wire. It's very small wires in there, and that's a lot of surface area that is and will oxidize, and you're going to lose a lot of material to oxidation, way more than you would through that you would with solid cores. So that's why I would typically recommend melting down solid core wire over stranded, especially extension cord, because the strands are so small.
Yeah.
And then I don't even know where you would find tin, because it would be really neat to just build your own alloy. Just weigh up some copper, weigh up some tin, and then just melt it together and build your own alloy. But I don't even know where you would get tin unless you just bought raw tin off the internet or something.
Yeah, because they don't make cans out of tin anymore.
Well, they never did. They were always steel, and then they were coated with tin to prevent that metallic taste from transferring to food. And they still are. They were tin cans were always steel cans, and then coated with tin.
I was making a joke. I think.
Well,
I think. For the record, I think I was making a joke. Where to get tin?
They did a lot of buckets and stuff with it, and I'm not sure if Armor was now. I don't think Armor was made out of tin.
Pewter is the best place to get tin. It's normally 93% tin, and normally about 93-95% tin. Has a little bit of copper and other alloys in it, particularly if you get lead-free pewter, modern pewter. That's the best general place to get tin nowadays.
Roto Metals stocks a variety of tin products, such as pure tin plates and electroplating tin anodes. The tin we supply is 99.9% pure and comes in numerous different forms, from tin cut wire pieces and ingots to long bars, popcorn flakes. We supply a plethora of products for all your special products. So, rotometals.com for all your tin needs.
Good commercial there, Yamez. Soon to be a sponsor or what?
Hashtag not a sponsor.
For that.
Yeah. Good sources of scrap tin. Gunloads.com. I am not reading all of that. That is a forum that is just not optimized for mobile. It's like I clicked on it and it zoomed. It's like this entire freaking unzoomed. Stressmaster. If you start with a plug of copper, you can melt the fine wire without losing a lot by sinking it into the melted copper. So if you try to melt, that might help with that oxidization issue you're talking about, Sully, when doing stranded wire.
Indeed.
If you start with a base plug of already melted copper. Hey, Paul. Hey, Wartree. Yeah, stress. There's apparently, you can. I think he was more talking about where to, run to the scrapyard and grab some scrap tin.
Yeah, that is what I meant. I mean, because that's why I kind of prefaced, other than just getting on the internet and ordering some tin. You know, like, because it's not necessarily an item that everybody just has laying around the house in a common item. You know, I mean, like everybody can get, you know, scrap copper because of, you know, copper wire. You know, I mean, it's not hard to locate. Same thing with brass. Brass is pretty common to find laying around. You know, old bearings, you know, like bushings, things like that are brass. Some bushings are bronze, whatever. But yeah, tin is not something you typically go, oh yeah, this here is an everyday item that just happens to be made of tin.
It's you know, pewter castings and stuff. In the same era, you would find tin castings. They went kind of hand in hand. So you'll see some of them. That's what I was just read. You'll see that you go to thrift stores and you look up, like, you know, old crap, and some of them would be stamped pewter, some of them would be stamped tin. You know, so stuff like that. You know, if you're looking for, I mean, you're still buying it, but yeah, it's just, you know, if you want to avoid actually ordering some, you'd go to thrift stores and look around and hunt and search, or just go to that website that I mentioned, rotometals.com.
Oh, gosh, that reminds me. I gotta make a mental note.
I was going to say, for those of you in Australia that are looking for tin, northernsmelters.com.au carries tin, as well as a lot of other metals, pure metals for doing alloys and stuff like that. Including, they have a specialty stuff for ladles for home casting and other low melting alloys and fusible alloys.
I'm a fusible alloy. Oh. Let me see. A lot of conversation going on.
There is a lot of conversation going on today, isn't there? Don't forget, guys, if you want to join in on the chat, if you've got a question and you have access to the Discord, jump over onto our Discord. Link should be in the description. Go into the Blacksmiths Church stage. Just at the bottom of the screen there, you can see the hand icon, which means you can raise your hand. And if you're lucky, if we're lucky enough and one of us sees it on time, we can introduce you up onto the stage to have a quick chat, ask you a question, and then we'll put you back into the audience so we can answer your question over the voice. Don't be afraid. You can always join us over there.
No. Be afraid, because, you know, why not?
Be afraid.
Fear is a good motivator. Hey, Robert.
And here's an interesting little bit. Before it became possible to produce glass with acceptably flat surfaces, bronze was a standard material for mirrors. The reflecting surface was typically made slightly convex so that the whole face could be seen in a small mirror. Bronze was used for this purpose in many parts of the world, probably based on independent discoveries. Bronze mirrors survived from the Egyptian Middle Kingdom, 2040 to 1750 BC in Europe. The Etruscans were making bronze mirrors in the 6th century BCE, and Greek and Roman mirrors followed the same pattern. Although other materials such as speculum metal had come into use, bronze mirrors were still being made in Japan into the 18th century AD.
I was going to say, I'm a standard.
As late as 200 years ago, Japan was still using bronze for mirrors.
I'm a standard use for a mirror. You know, my head there, bald. It's a bald joke.
Oh, I can't remember who it was, but it was Archimedes. So there's a story
polished
of
bronze,
Archimedes
Archimedes death ray.
Yeah, exactly. Archimedes death ray. That polished bronze mirrors.
Can't talk about bronze without bringing up Archimedes. My old buddy Archie.
That's it.
Yeah, my old buddy Archie.
Or the Antikythera mechanism, which Clickspring is last time I watched Clickspring was currently doing a recreation of, and that thing is absolutely
bonkers,
jaw dropping.
Bonkers.
Yes.
For
its precision too.
Bonkers. No, I remember Archie was a jerk. making me sit there polish mirrors for freaking 3 years in a row while he works on his death array. Wait till y'all get my age. Oh, it sucks being immortal. I'm just kidding. Everybody just...
That's what an immortal would
There can be
say.
only one.
Who wants to live forever? Demonetization.
The one that got in my head was, here we are, born to be kings, we're the princes of the universe. Anyway.
Yeah. Adios, Dogbone. Oh.
Best Master, surprisingly, bronze actually makes a better mirror. Silver's actually rather soft. And the silvering on the back of glass mirrors is actually an alloy in itself. It's not.
Straight silver.
I think it used to be mercurial silver. It's now a different alloy. But bronze mirrors can actually polish to such a point. There is an actual art form, and it was used in brass mirrors, even in Japan, but particularly in the Middle East during the persecution of Christians, where they could actually put two designs into brass mirrors. So if you held it and reflected the light a certain way, it would actually produce a picture of the reflection, whilst you could still look in the mirror and see a perfectly clear reflection of yourself. It's an art form that I believe it only still exists in India today. I haven't looked too far into it, but it is still absolutely amazing. And but yeah, up until the advent of I think with mercurial silver for the back and the way to get clear glass and very flat glass planes, the bronze mirrors actually were superior to silver.
It kind of makes me want to cast bronze, or cast some bronze plate, polish it, and have myself a bronze mirror. But I'd probably break that one too. Because I'm ugly?
Bronze mirror there. It's not 7 years bad luck.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, if breaking a mirror is 7 years bad luck, what about a bronze mirror? Is that like more bad luck because it's bronze? Or not bad luck because it's not a mirror? Or not glass? Or anyway. Steve's like, yeah, I'll sound like you're smoking the devil's lettuce.
Wait, who's not sharing? Who's not sharing?
No, I got my brother. My brother's looking for some sour diesel for me. Shouldn't say that out loud. Yeah, I'm gonna get me a sheet of bronze, and then the next 3 years is gonna be me meticulously polishing it. So what you doing today? Polishing the bronze.
Hey, as long as you don't cast the doorknob out of it first, you're good.
Cast the doorknob out of it. Polishing my knobs.
Trying to find a modern bronze mirror is very, very hard. I thought I'd do a quick Google, and you get bronze outside mirrors, but actual bronze mirrors. Even to find the specialty ones, like I was just mentioning before, is very hard to find. So good luck.
All right, adios, Mr. Coffee.
See you, John.
Hey, John.
You be careful there, buddy. Roy has.
And here comes the wind.
Where? Actually, it's a surprisingly nice day outside today. It was supposed to be storming like crazy yesterday. It didn't. It was cloudy, but we've got a high of, I think, 75, and there's a storm off the coast. Our wind speed today, why are you all freaking making me talk about this? 12 miles an hour.
Yeah, I've got a haboob that just started rolling in, so yeah, it was nice and calm outside, and then just now it's just like all of a sudden visibility dropped to like 20 feet, and so it's gather up my stuff and run inside right here.
Yeah, our gusts are only at 26, so it's a relatively calm day. But with that, guys, I know that on Wednesday everything kind of got all foobarred on my end. My dad was in the hospital. He had a heart attack on Monday, and was in the hospital for the first half of the week, and came home Wednesday around 6 o'clock, and so I didn't go live. And I discussed it with Sully and Adam here, and they agree with me that, making Sunday a streaming day, and so that allows me to keep my Saturdays open for things that I need to get done, either around the house or if I have a market to go to. It doesn't lock me in on time frames. So Sunday, typically I do this and then either go hang out somewhere, or, do some oddball stuff in the shop, or just kind of lay here on this couch for, about 20 hours. I will be setting up out in the shop later today and going live. My Wednesday's show, which was formerly my Saturday show, is now my Sunday shows. So tonight I will be going live at 6 p.m. If this all works out and the timing is all good, what I may do is just do a long live stream where it's set up in my shop, and I'm go live say around 4 p.m. and or something like that, and then there was a question of issue with international audiences and time zone differences, but we'll see how it all goes. We'll figure it all out. But tonight at 6, I will be, that's Eastern, 6 p.m. Eastern, I will be live out in my shop, heating and beating. And that was just kind of that little announcement. Hey, Aaron.
That gives everyone a chance to actually get all the Yarmouth fix on the one day.
Yeah.
And you watch church in the morning, then go out to go out and do some forging in the evening time when you're winding down. You can watch Yarmouth sweat.
Mm-hmm. And thank you for everybody who commented on my posts and video about wishing my dad good luck and everything. He's doing all right. It's just back to work and back to the daily grind. So yeah.
Back to life.
Yeah.
Back to reality.
So yeah, it's same old song and dance. We'll keep going. And with that, I would ask, Sully, Adam, do you guys have any final thoughts?
Yeah, no, I got nothing. I guess anything other than usual. Hey, y'all out there, the weather's getting warmer. Pay attention for critters around your workspace because they're going to be coming out and being a little bit more active. So keep your eyes peeled for little creepy crawlies and slithery items. Sometimes they're not too big of a deal. Sometimes they are. So stay safe. Get out to your shop, make something, and y'all have a fantabulous week.
Yep.
So, thanks everyone for joining us. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. If you'd like to suggest a topic, a metal or tool of the week, you can let us know via email at islandmetalforge@gmail.com or drop it into the hashtag Metal of the Week on Discord. Links in the description. We go live every week, 10 a.m. Eastern, every Sunday here on YouTube, and you can join us in the chat, or you can join our live discussions via the Discord link under Blacksmiths Church, or the Blacksmiths Church, either the stage whilst we're live, or join us after the fact in the Blacksmiths Church chat. That's 12:30 a.m. Australian Central Standard Time. It's actually a little bit earlier now. Sorry, that's 11:30 p.m. Sunday, Australian Central Standard Time. Check your local time for Wender Joy. To see more from Yamaz, you can find him at Island Metal Forge on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. You can find Sully at Transcendental Artist Studios on YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok, and me, Adam, at Speargrass Forge on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. Don't forget, guys, don't be shy to join in that chat. And after the fact, after our live stream, we do generally hang around for a little bit longer. Feel free to join us on Discord in the Blacksmith chat for a little bit more after action.
Yeah.
And that's just pretty much it. Final thoughts on that is get out there, make something, have fun.
I've actually officially just changed. The Blacksmiths Church is the stage. Impractical Blacksmiths is the after or pre-show and after-show chat, just to avoid confusion. I could change it back if you guys are mad at me. I mean,
G'day, Keith. Whatever. Trifold Creations.
hey there. Y'all jumped in
okay.
right at the end of the show. Yeah, and if you know, we'll probably be. I know I'll probably be over in Impractical Blacksmiths here very shortly. Yeah. So, y'all have a wonderful day, and I'll see you guys all in a few hours. Thank you all.
The live stream. Don't forget to share the live stream with your friends and family and all the other people that you know blacksmithing. It helps grow this little community on our church.
Yes. Don't like, share, subscribe, comment, and yeah. I'm hoping to get back to a few more edited videos. I have some stuff that I need to do for Coin Merge, but I will get to them. So yeah, my next few videos out will probably be a bit not really paid promotion-y, but like promotional kind of stuff for somebody that I'm doing. But anyway, that being said, thank you all, and I'll see you later.
Bye, guys.